Growing up, I didn't have a father around. It was just my mother and I. I always remembered my mother calling me her misery child. I never knew what that meant, but I always just smiled at her. Growing up and learning the ways of being a mature girl, I knew that misery meant to put someone through hell or to mistreat. And now, this is where I began to think. I began to ask myself, why is my mother calling me this? This used to get me upset when she called me this. When I asked my mother why did she call me her misery child, she just looked at me and smiled. At that point, I felt like I lost my mother too. I didn't have a family anymore. I didn't have anyone. At the age of 8, my mother had 2 of my little brothers. It made me think if my little brothers were her misery child. I blame this on the man who is called my father. He was the reason why I was so confused. He was the reason why life wasn't a bundle of joy for an 8-year-old. I was tired of trying to find answers when only more questions came. I questioned God. Is this how He planned my life to be? Is this how He wanted me to live life? I hated this void that I had. I only hated it because I didn't know how to deal with it. It made me upset on how I used to envy the little girls who had fathers to come pick them up from school or just to take a walk in the park. At the age of 10, I started to find my passion in life, singing. When I sang, it was my runaway place. But sometimes when I didn't have the courage to sing, I wrote like I sang. Because of me feeling my extra emptiness in my life, those were the only thing I could use to make sure whatever I was feeling was not there anymore, and to feel like a human being again. Writing makes me feel empowered, understand the non-understood. Writing makes me feel like the only way to get high is off of paper and a pen. Writing is like 2 opposite attraction meet, and you would think it's ugly, but they become 2 white doves. Writing is like 2 peas in a pod. Writing makes me feel like I'm expressing myself to the whole wide world, but no one can judge me because I am me. When I joined Girls Leap, it made me realize that I didn't have to feel the way I felt. Girls Leap was just my new family. It taught me to just embrace that void that I had, and to remember the void that I had makes me who I am today. So now, I would like to thank you, Pops, for bringing me into this world and for leaving me behind and letting me learn about the world on my own. Because of you, I grew into a beautiful young lady that you will never know how to love. With all my confusion in life and all my misunderstanding communication, I am my mother's misery child. So this is where I can stand and say I am strong without you.